Pregame.com.
Wednesday night NBA action. The Dallas Mavericks travel to the LA Clippers. This will be the second stop in a row for Dallas. They had a day off, but they're staying in LA because they played the Lakers in their last game. Clippers, they're getting some frequent flyer miles this week, aren't they, Brian?
Well, it's about time. They've had the best schedule all year long. That the funny thing is they've had the least amount of games played, and yet they played the Lakers, and so they don't leave town when they play the Lakers, and they played the two exhibition games and them against the Lakers, and so they didn't have to leave town during exhibition season.
Well, they get tested now because they're playing 3 games in 3 nights. Projected line here, I made the game the Clippers won. Your line on this one?
I made a pick on my original raw number was 1 for the Clippers. This is a third straight game the Clippers have to play in 3 days, where Dallas, as you pointed out, they've only had 2 out of the last 3 days off, so a definite advantage there for
yeah, and it's something that we want to just bring to light with the listeners. One, again, we're taping on Tuesday for Wednesday, so we don't have the actual line. To make things more complicated, the Clippers are playing tonight. As we said, they're playing 3 straight days. So they're playing tonight. We don't know the outcome of tonight's game.
Right.
That can dictate things. If the Clippers win in a blowout tonight, that'll affect the line, or if they lose in a blowout. This is one of those lines where the Clippers, I have them -1, you have them at pick. It would not shock me at all if Dallas comes out 1. I mean, that can happen in this game. I know it's a tough spot for the Clippers here, but I'm going to still go with them. And I'm going to tell you why. They're a young ball club. Okay, they're not the Boston Celtics. That 3 games in 3 days for a Celtic team, that's going to hurt a team like them. Mm-hmm. This team is young, and there's another team in the NBA that I'm kind of mirroring why I'm going this way. And if you remember, it was probably about 10 days ago. But the Atlanta Hawks went through this same thing. And it was even worse for them.
Terrible.
They played 3 games, 3 days, but even prior to that, it was like 6 in 8 days.
And 2 of those games went to overtime, 1 a double overtime.
I think it actually wasn't a triple. Well, they ended up playing 3.
Miami.
Yeah, they played Miami, and then they played overtime the very next night when they went on the road to Charlotte. So these young teams, and as you said, if there has been a team that's been treated very kind by the schedule maker so far, it is the Clippers. And what's going to make me like this game even more is if they pull off a win tonight, because it'll be exactly like Atlanta, because Atlanta lost the first one, but then that was the overtime game against Miami. So then they're on the road in a negative situation. They won that, and then they came back home and played Chicago, and everybody's like, well, they can't have anything left in the tank for Chicago. And because it was a big team, they were up. Is there going to be a bigger team for them to be up for than the defending champions, Dallas, who just played on this floor 2 nights earlier? And you could either say a thriller or a snoozer, whichever way you want to look at it, because the final score was, 73-70? I mean, that's usually a Lakers score at the end of the third quarter, not at the end of the game.
Halftime a lot of times, yeah.
So I just think this is a good spot for the Clippers to make a statement. I like them. Dallas, people are going to look, I think the public still looks at the 2 teams, the Lakers and the Clippers, and they still hold the Lakers in higher esteem than the Clippers because, until the Clippers prove that, they're taking that next step, they've made some nice moves in the off season, or right before, it wasn't really an off season. It was, a settlement on, the lockout, all these labor negotiations we've had to deal with this year. I just think the Clippers are a better team, and the fact people are going to look and say Dallas almost beat the Lakers, and because of the negative situation, I think it's almost going to look too easy to take Dallas in this game. And you know me, the contrarian that I am, it's going to line me up on the Clippers in this game. I got the Clippers winning by 4. Time for you to shoot holes in it.
Okay, so you say the Clippers are going to win by 4.
Yeah.
All right. Just some stats here. Obviously, we've talked about the rest situation, but when rested and they're playing an unrested team. The Mavericks are 4-0 against the spread this season, winning by a combined 30 points against the spread. And keep in mind, this is a team who entered the season fat and happy. They were not in shape. Even Nowitzki came out and said, he goes, I didn't train like I normally do in the offseason because they were the champions. It's a telling stat. It's something that happens very much just about every year. And for him to come out and say it, I thought was real commendable because I've always thought the same thing. But now Dallas is playing a lot better ball. They just went into L.A. The Lakers gave them a really good game, covered the spread in that one. Dallas was 4-0 straight up against the spread against the Clippers last year. Granted, it's a different Clippers team than it was. But this is a team that they've had some confidence with, so they think they can come in here and win. And something that a lot of people don't take a look at, and it's something that I think is very important. You've got your two altitude teams. You've got your Denver and you've got Utah. You always have to watch when teams play coming out or coming into either Denver or Utah. The Clippers are coming in and out of altitude. They play at home Monday here. Then they go to Utah Tuesday. And then they come game 3 of the 3-game set right back here against Dallas. Mm-hmm. So going into Utah is going to be tough. Coming back out of the altitude is going to be tough for the Clippers. 3-3 playing in altitude the day before. I think that's a bad situation for the Clippers. So we'll have to see what the line comes out in this game. But if I made this line pick, if I can catch the 2 in this game, I'll probably be opposite you. Mm-hmm. But I have a feeling it'll probably come out in what we talked about, probably 1.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, go with the Clippers. And I think that we actually talked about it kind of on a video last week when we were talking about Orlando and how, their pace setter or the team, their prompter is the Miami Heat. And I made the reference old school about the 76ers in Boston, how when the two teams play, like the same opponent in the same week, one style do the other. And I think the fact that the Clippers are playing Dallas, and it's Dallas's next game after the Lakers played them, and that's the team. And that was a huge game for the Lakers because Dallas was the team that took them out of the playoffs last year. So, playoff revenge and everything. I think the Clippers having a chance to upstage the Lakers, Lakers won, but if the Clippers can, do it in a more convincing fashion or actually score points like an NBA team, about 73. So that's another little part of my reasoning there.
Well, I do want to point out, you find that a lot. When you play one LA team, you tend to play the other LA team a lot of times. And I got to give you props for that last video we did. I mean, you covered for a whole 33 seconds of that game, and you got the victory. That was pretty impressive.
Right on the money, too, hey. Have you ever cashed a ticket with 47 minutes and change?
If I play the first half, I do. I was sitting there the whole time. I go, I look good in this. And then he'd cover at 47 and 30 seconds. I'm covering 30 seconds. You're covering. You get paid. I don't. I mean,
I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, I guess I wouldn't either if I was in your situation, especially when you pick the exact same score as the final. So that's pretty impressive.
When you get to the finish line, you get to the finish line. That's sometimes what I tell my wife.
That's right. Well, I stopped halfway through to get something to eat, and that was my problem.
There you go. See? That's it. All right. I'm going with the Clippers as my pick here. I got them winning by 4 again. Pay close attention to the line. I don't think that my projection of 4 that I have to worry about the Clippers laying 4. So we should be good there. He's Brian Leonard. I'm Marco D'Angelo. Carry on the conversation at pregamevideos.com. We'll have our show notes posted in there. You can ask us questions. If there's another game you want to ask us about, we stop by a lot. And we're going to be back, Brian and myself. We're going to do one more video. We're moving over to Thursday night TNT action. I think there's a big game Thursday night in the NBA. LeBron, Kobe.
I'm from Cleveland. I never heard of the guy.
You disowned him? All right. We'll be right back with that one.